This is Courtney on behalf of Paper Maniac. Today, in honor of Father's Day, I wanted to share all of the Tim Holtz tools that Paper Maniac carries. So let's get started. This is one of the most important tools you can own if you are into distressing or you just want to protect your work area. This is the Tim Holtz craft sheet. It can withstand up to 850 degrees of heat, so you can emboss on top of this. If you're into jewelry making, you can solder on it and the solder will just roll off. Nothing will stick to this sheet. Paint, alcohol inks, any of your glimmer mist or glimmer sprays, they will not stick to this. What it is, it's a Teflon material infused in glass, so nothing will stick, protects your area. You want to make sure that you don't cut on it or you'll end up with these cool little slits in your mat where ink will absorb, so don't cut on it like I did. You don't want to bend it. When you store this craft sheet, you want to make sure you roll it up. Really important to have. I use it on every project. It always stays on my desk. Paper Maniac carries this craft sheet for $17.99. Great deal. You want to have one of these. Let's see. Next, I'm going to talk to you about Tim Holtz scissors. These are amazing. They come with a protective cap. Always important. They're serrated edge. They will never dull. That serrated edge keeps resharpening your scissors. You can cut metal, like the backing off of metal buttons, so you can cut those off. You can cut through paper, chipboard, grunge paper, and then go straight to cutting fabric and ribbon and not have any problems. These are fantastic. They're made for left-handed or right-handed people, and the really cool thing is, say you have maybe arthritis of some sort, and when you use regular scissors, you might get that pain in your hand. These scissors are completely flexible. There's no metal in the handles. So when you're using them, they'll actually form to your hand, so you won't have any pain when you're using these scissors. Paper Maniac sells these for $11.95 on their website, so check those out. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the ink blending tool and the ink applicator tool. They are the exact same thing. They sell online on papermaniac.com for $4.99, and the only difference between the ink applicator tool and the ink blending tool is the material that adheres to them. The tool is the exact same wood tool with a Velcro. The ink blending tool comes with two of these foams, and these are used to blend out distress inks. They come with two of those. The ink applicator tool comes with felt. Paper Maniac also sells refill felt for $4.99. So depending on what you're going to be using it for, that's what tool you'll get. Let's see. Next, let's talk about paper distresser. This tool is so cool. It's basically a blade housed in this plastic with different openings so that you can decide which one you want to use. You just rub it up and down paper to distress it. And say that opening starts to get a little dull, go to the next one. Really cool, really safe to use too. Get away from those scissors, it'll cut your finger off. Let's see, next I'm going to talk about the Tim Holtz tonic tools. This is the craft pick. This is really, really cool. Tim Holtz recommends that you use like a cork to pierce through, but I'm just going to use my basil and stitches to demonstrate this. The reason that it is toothed like this, the further that you push out the needle or the craft pick, the wider the diameter of your hole will be. So if you just want a really small hole, say you have a really small brad you want to set through some paper, just put it to the first or second click and you have the small pick, and that's all you have to use. If you want a really, really fat hole, like you have a larger brad or you want to, maybe sew through it with some embroidery floss, then you can push it out a little bit further. The longer you push it out, the wider the needle will be. So a lot of people want to get these and they just want to shove it all the way out. You don't have to do that, just a little ways. Keep in mind that when you are piercing through a mat, if you try and pull it straight out, there's a possibility you could strip these gears. So when you push it into your mat, you might want to twist it a little bit to take it out. Okay? Really cool tool to have. Oh, Paper Maniac sells this for $5.49 online. It's a great deal. Great tool. This is another one of Tim Holtz Tonic Studios tools. And what this is the Craft Scratcher. This is, a lot of people think this is totally useless, but it's really a lot of fun. Same idea with the gears, you pop it out. The wires in here are completely flexible and they will not bend. So you can use this to scratch and distress photos or cardstock, even fabric. Say you die cut some fabric flowers, you can go in and fray the edges with this tool. Really, really cool. And the same as the other tonic, these sell for $5.49. So check those out. One of the tonic studio tools that I don't have sells for the same price, and that's the craft knife. I don't have that one yet, but it's important too. I want to check that out. This is Tim Holtz Ideology sanding block. What's really cool about this is, say you emboss something, some cardstock or even some grunge board or something, and you want to get some, especially cardstock that maybe has a different color core, and you want to sand it off. If you just take a piece of sandpaper and you start sanding on that, your fingers are going to allow that sandpaper to dip into where the recessed areas, and you're going to sand areas that you probably didn't want to. This is really cool because it's completely flat. You can see I've used mine quite a bit. Completely flat, and it's got a nice ridge here that you can do some detail work with. Really nice to have and really simple, but it makes your life a lot easier when it comes to your sanding and distressing. This sells on papermaniac.com for $5.99, I believe. So check that out. What's next? Tiny Attacher. This tool is so cool. Tiny Attacher is basically your like plier style stapler. However, the staples that come in this tool are so tiny. See if I can get them out. They are so small. You can see I can barely hold them. I mean, that's probably close to 100 staples right there. They're smaller than a mini stapler, and this tool allows them to go through grunge board, chipboard, grunge paper, whatever. It's very strong, and they're very, very tiny. You can use this to attach tags or photos, or attach ribbon is really cool. You can do some neat pleating by stapling with these small staples. So that is a really, really handy tool to have and get really cool effects with that. This next tool is a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun. This is another one of Tim Holtz Ideology tools, sold on Paper Maniac for $14.99. And what it is, it's just a mini hammer, and it's got 4 attachable ends. So they just screw off. They're really easy. Just screw in and off, on and off, whatever. Each end has a different effect that you can get. This one has kind of like a bars effect. You can get some cool like cross hatching with that, different ways. This has the little balls. You've got the flat metal end, like if you want to just ding up some metal or some chipboard, or the softer rubber flat end. Say you wanted to flatten something out but you didn't want to ding it, you could use this. So you get some really cool effects. Like I said, you can use it on thin metal or chipboard. You can use it on your brads to make them look really distressed and old. Lots of things you can use this for. This mat that it comes with is made to protect your area so that you're not banging it right on your table. Use this mat, and it's made to really withstand a lot of banging up. Let's not drop that. Okay. This is another tool from Tim Holtz Ideology line. Really, really cool. Tim designed this ruler because he designed it with all of the things you would need in a ruler in one. So it's really, really cool. It's see-through, completely clear, so you can, see what you're doing. It's got measurements from 0 to 12, and it also has, starting in 0, a centering ruler, right? It's got grid lines every 1/8 of an inch. It's got piercing holes every 1/8 of an inch, right? So that, right there on your ruler, you can pierce straight through the ruler. One edge is tapered so that you can maybe draw on that edge, or if you needed to just draw a straight line or maybe paint or something like that, it's tapered so that you can actually get that pen or pencil down to the paper without catching the edge of the ruler and missing. The other side of the ruler has a metal strip so that if you needed to cut something against this ruler, you can do that without messing up your ruler. Very, very cool, very handy to have. That's about it for all the tools I've got. If you've got any questions about any of his tools, or if you think I might have missed something, or any questions on how you can use those tools on a project, just send me an email, let me know, Courtney@handmeastamp.com, and check out papermaniac.com if you're interested in purchasing any of these tools. Have a great Father's Day. Bye.